Today is going to be a tale of two batteries. This is our 4 amp 82BD400, which is the recommended battery that comes with the Greenworks chainsaws. I'm going to be looking at the 82CS34 because that's the most powerful. This battery, according to Greenworks specs, has a max output of 3200 watts, but the chainsaw is a 3400 watt motor. So I'm hoping that when I use this 82BD500, which has a output spec by Greenworks at 4000 watts, that'll be able to get a little bit more power out of the chainsaw. According to Greenworks, I won't, and this is the correct battery. I had the same thing happen with the GS 181, and they originally recommended the 2.5 amp battery, and the thing kept cutting out all the time, and I wound up using a 5 amp, and then when they came out with the 4 amps, I went to a 4 amp, but those had the power to run that chainsaw, which is a 2500 watt motor. So now that these new chainsaws have come out with a 3400 watt motor, you know, when you really lean on it, it cuts out. But is it cutting out because of the motor or the battery's getting stressed? So I'm gonna put them to the test, and we're gonna find out if we get more out. If the thing is already putting out what the motor needs, the chainsaws will perform the same with the two batteries. We'll just get a little bit more life out of this one. But you know, and that's if Greenworks is correct. If I'm correct, then this battery will actually give us more power, and we're going to see faster cuts with the chainsaw. So we'll find out. Am I the dummy, or is Greenworks steering us the wrong way? So let's weigh these batteries and see what the difference is. The 4 amp battery weighs in at 4 pounds 9 ounces. The 5 amp battery weighs in at 6 pounds 4 ounces. As the batteries go, it's like, okay, well, that's a little bit of a difference. But if we're talking about our overall weight, right? There's our chainsaw at 14 pounds 3 ounces. So now we're talking about a difference of 18 pounds 12 ounces versus 20 pounds 8 ounces. I mean, yeah, it's a little heavier, and yeah, you'll feel it across the day, but if your saw cuts better, hopefully you'll either get more work done or be at the saw for less time. Okay, we're going to make a cut with the Greenworks 4 amp battery. Actually, 2 cuts. We're on the 18-inch bar. Came with 2 different bars, and the power cut recommended chain, brand new. I'll push it hard on one cut, and then I'll let the saw do the work on the second cut. This is the 4 amp battery. Okay, now we'll do the same thing with the 5 amp battery. I think there's a clear difference there. 18-inch bar with the speed cut chain. There'll be 4 cuts, 2 with the 4 amp battery, 1 pushing it, 1 letting the saw do the work, and then 2 more cuts with the 5 amp battery, the same. Here's the 4 amp. Alright, and now the 5 amp battery. We're going to run a couple more cuts here, 2 cuts each battery, but this time we're using a more aggressive full chisel saw. So this is the G series Oregon saw. 2 cuts with the 4 and then 2 cuts with the 5 amp battery. That was the 4 amp battery, onto the 5 amp. Alright, well, we got a nice little pile of chips and a few pieces of cut up log. Final thoughts on this was, in all instances, the 5 amp battery outperformed the 4 amp battery, cutting faster, and there was more battery life left, which, you know, even though it's releasing more power, it seemed to not use as much battery. And I found it interesting that in the cuts, it seemed like the factory recommended chain actually did the worst of any of them. The one that the saw came with, the speed cut did better, and the best chain was the power cut chain, I think LGX series from Oregon, which is similar. That's a full chisel. It's similar to the one that it came with, but it has doesn't have anti-kickback features that the LPX has, that the saw comes with. So it's just more aggressive, but I could physically see that the chips it was spitting were bigger, and the saw was able to handle it because it made the cuts quicker. So I just thought that was interesting. The one it came with actually did the worst. Here's the chain details on the 18-inch bar. This is what it came with, which was a power cut 20 LPX 72. It was 72 links for the 18-inch chain. And then this was the speed cut, which was 72 links, 95 TXL on the 18-inch bar. And then this was the power cut, which was 20 LGX 078, and I used the 20-inch bar for that one. And that one did the best with the saw, with the 5 amp battery, which at this time actually costs the same from Greenworks as the 4 amp battery, you know, but doesn't come with the kit, but is clearly the better battery for doing cuts.